Welcome back. You are listening to lectures on soft skills by Binod Mishra. In the previous lecture, we talked about meeting management, and in this lecture, we are going to talk about adaptability and work ethics. You might be thinking, what actually is adaptability and what are work ethics? Now, these are two terms, and once you are in an organization or in an institute, you might come across certain situations where you feel you need to apply these. Most of you are either willing to join an organization or you are in an organization. Now, all of you agree that organizations keep on changing their practices from time to time. Think of a person who is working in an organization for, say, 15 years, and suddenly he finds that the work culture of the organization has changed. For example, the recent move by many organizations to become paperless may actually give a jolt to those people who have been using papers since all these years, either in passing instructions or in writing applications, and you find that the present policy of the organization is to be paperless and become electronic. So, this may create a sort of resistance among many people, especially those who are not much accessible to electronic medium of communication. Now, if you are in an organization, you are supposed to adapt yourself to the changing needs. We have talked about meeting management. So, a meeting will be called to inform all the employees of the organization and tell them that from now on all of us will be paperless. So, every instruction will come electronically. In many organizations, the earlier practice was to provide you your pay slips in hard copies. Now they are giving your pay slips in electronic copies. You have also started filing your tax returns online. Now, what are these? These are actually the changes in the organizational structure. So, every organization in course of time evolves, changes, and as employees we actually need to welcome those changes. As employees, we need to adapt ourselves to those changes, because change is the law of nature, and so it is of organizations also. Now, what actually do we mean by adapt? By adaptability, we mean a sort of change. We actually mean the ability to adapt is adaptability. I mean, you have to change yourself according to the new policies, according to the new practices. So, this adaptability can be defined as the ability of an entity or organization or corporation or institute to change itself or its responses to the new circumstances or new situations or new environment. Adaptability shows the ability to learn. Now those people who are actually rigid, you might have read earlier when we are discussing communication breakdown on barriers, that these people, they actually do not realize that they have to change, and since they do not welcome this change, they actually do something which results as a sort of barrier. So in order to survive in an organization and be with the organization, we have to adapt ourselves to the changing needs, and by adapting we actually can learn a lot. Now today what has happened? You find in the olden days when computers were just rare, and people who were having computers, they could be thought of people having a sort of luxurious thing. Now today we find even every shop, every office is computer savvy. Even the people at the lowest rung, people at the low levels, they are also computer savvy. So what has resulted? Because they have adapted themselves to the changing situations, they have learned. So the advantage of adaptability is to learn from this new experience and to improve, because if you adapt yourself to the changing needs and the changing circumstances, you are also going to help the organization. Not only you are going to enrich yourself, but you are also going to improve the fitness of the organization. You are actually raising not only your fitness but also the fitness of the organization. There are certain things that are required in order to adapt. Now first is how can we adapt ourselves to? There are certain skills that you need, and then first is the physical. I mean, unless and until people are sound, because you know there is an old time saying, a sound mind lives in a sound body. So if you are having a soundness of body, you will have a soundness of mind. You will not resist the change. You will believe that this is there. So you need to be mentally aware. You need to prepare yourself for the change. So not only is this physical fitness is required for mental fitness, and then psychologically also you have to prepare yourself to the changing requirements and the changing needs. And moreover, the world over, you know, if you do not adapt yourself to, what will happen? You actually belong to one culture, no doubt, but today's workplaces are multicultural. And of course, organizations also look at this from that multicultural point of view. So you need to change according to the changing ways and changing means. Now, if you have the ability to change, how will you add to the organization? You will actually add to the quality and you will facilitate accomplishment. You know, in organizations it so happens that if there are some rigid people, these rigid people are often sidelined because, you know, your leader, your head knows that you cannot contribute anything. So what happens? After a certain point of time, you actually become, or you start feeling yourself isolated. Hence, you have to be prepared to adapt yourself. And if you are in an organization, because new things are coming your way, you have to follow the flow. We have talked about the communication flow in the organization. So if you are to communicate effectively, in order to make your organization more effective and more successful, you also have to follow the flow of the organization and not run against the organization, because you have to be in the organization. Now you will find that every organization has its own culture. Every organization, and then the way things take place in an organization, they are also different. In every aspect you will find how letters are handled, how problems are solved, how complaints are responded to. So there is a practice in an organization. Whatever organization you belong to, you will find that every organization provides you with a certain code of conduct also. That is why when a new person joins an organization, he is provided a sort of writing which actually is a code of conduct, which actually not only talk about the rules and regulations of the organization. So as an employee of the organization, you are supposed to understand what are your roles, what are your responsibilities, and what, if the time so needs or so requires, how you can change. So organizations can make changes from time to time. So you have to be ready for such changes. Remember, you belong to an organization, no doubt, but you also represent an organization when you go out, isn't it? When you go out, you actually work as an ambassador of your organization. So individuals, though an individual is one person, but then he represents an organization. Somebody who is the head of an organization, he actually works as an ambassador of the organization. Hence, it is very important that whatever you do, the way you behave, the way you react, the way you correspond, all these in a way reflect the culture of the organization. But if you are in an organization, again, the other part of this topic is work ethics. Now, this word ethics, this comes from philosophy, no doubt, but then as an individual employee, should you follow some sort of ethics? Now, what is ethics? If we have a general discussion about ethics, you have often heard people saying this is not ethical, this is ethical. Fine. Sometimes you say you need to maintain a sort of ethical standard. What do you exactly mean by that? We actually mean a sort of righteousness. It is actually ethics that tells you and that informs you whether your actions are right or wrong. Now let us see what Wikipedia says about work ethics. Now work ethics is a set of values. Now how important are values? Organization also has got a value, organization also has got a code of conduct, but at the personal level you also have a sort of conduct. There are conduct rules, no doubt, but even as an individual you also have some ethics. You are getting a very handsome salary and you are not going to your office regularly. So it may be considered, if you think it from that point of view, it may be considered, or you may yourself realize that this is quite unethical. Fine. Now this question of ethics is actually the question of being right and wrong. So work ethic is a set of values which are based on the moral virtues of hard work and diligence. You are appointed or you are taken in an organization, but before you are taken, the people who are interviewing you, they in a way also try to find out how far ethical you are, and they try to test that through certain questions. They are psychologically based. Now here let me ask you, let me provide you a certain situation. Imagine one of your friends joins, say, an organization where he has to provide some pieces of information to people. Say he is an officer who has been assigned the task of providing information, but then he also has secret information about the organization, and you are a friend to him. Should your friend tell you the secret information about employment, about certain things? So then if he does so, you also will feel that he is not maintaining the ethical norms. That is why in every organization you find there are some people who are assigned the task where he only has the access, he only has the password, he only has the keys if working in an organization which are some way or the other related to finance, banking, whatsoever, but in a way he is not entitled to leak these pieces of information. Now, it is a question of ethics. It is also a belief in moral benefit of work and its ability to enhance character. A work ethic may also include as to how a person can be reliable. This is reliability factor. No, you know a lot of things about the organization, but then as an authentic employee of the organization, you are supposed not to reveal these pieces of information. Of course, as an individual working in an organization, you also have certain initiatives, but then in certain cases, certain situations, and also you are to maintain social skills. Sometimes you may come across certain situations where your loyalty is crisscross, but then loyalty to your organization is more important than loyalty to your friends, loyalty to your relatives, and hence it comes under your personal ethics. Now, when we talk about ethics, of course the question of relationships that also comes into picture. Now, you will find that every organization is actually a blend of employee and employer, and these employees and employer, they actually have a sort of relationship. This relationship, which is of course a sort of business relationship, but then that is not only based on a sort of mutual trust, but then it is also based on certain legalities. Because when you talk about ethics, sometimes people actually cross the limit of ethics, and then of course law comes into question. So there is a sort of relationship between employees and employer. Both employers and employees, they are actually bound by not only by a sort of official relationship, but by a sort of legal relationship which also has got certain moral hazards. Now the question is, as an employee, what actually are our legal liabilities, or what are our expectations? The first is commitment. How committed you are. This is a question of your ethics. How committed you are. You know, as human beings, all of us have problems, but then it is your commitment which actually provides you a sort of authenticity to your organization, a sort of reliability to the organization. So how committed you are. So your first aim should be your commitment. Now, every organization, your employer and you as an employee, there is actually a sort of dependency between the two. Sometimes you find that certain files are not approved because the person handling that or person in charge of that is either out of station or have some other problems. Now the question is, it is the level of trust that is given or that is assigned to an individual. Now it is the question of dependency, and if you are once in an organization, you belong to this organization, and this belonging, there are several factors associated with your belonging. What are those factors? You are in an organization. The organization not only provides you a handsome package or a pay, but then you are also given certain other rights, isn't it? But when we talk about rights, with rights also come duties. If somebody becomes too much aware of his rights alone and pays less attention to his duties, then perhaps there will be a mismatch. So you are allowed certain rights, and in those rights actually give you a sort of actualization. For example, I belong to this organization. This organization has not only provided me a sort of proper existence, but it has also provided me certain facilities. Say I have been provided with a very good accommodation, I have been provided with a very good environment, I have been provided with a very good ambience, I have been provided with all sorts of facilities that are entitled to a person of my rank or my status or whatsoever. Now this is how we should think. So this will actually make you have a sort of self actualization, and that will instill in you a sort of, not only a sort of dependency, but a sort of inspiration, and that will result in your initiative being more, your productivity level being more. So this provides you a sort of confidence, and that is how you start working. Now is it only the employees who are given, who are bound by certain legal obligations? When you get a job, the organization provides you a sort of appointment letter which has got certain conditions mentioned over. Fine, the conditions, sometimes you are provided a time frame, sometimes they give you a probation period. All these are actually to judge you and your capability as a prospective employee in this organization. But at the same time, when the rules are there, you also are bound by certain obligations. Imagine a person gets a job in a particular organization at a particular pay, but only after say 2 months he gets another job which has more pay, more perks. Now what should he do? Should he leave the first organization? But then there is actually a sort of contract, there is actually a sort of commitment. Since you have taken an appointment with an organization which has given you a time period, and they also mention certain rules and regulations, but then only for some more perk, if you are going to leave one organization, once again it is a sort of ethical consideration. It is up to you. Naturally, a person who will be more aware of ethics will not leave the job which he got first and where he is undergoing a training or whatsoever. But then there are moral hazards which are also with employers. What are they? The employer, even though the relationship between the employer and the employee is formal, which at times becomes informal, yet he has some authority over him, and through that authority he has got the power to monitor and control his employee. So this monitoring is on from time to time without the knowledge of the other person, and the control ultimately is with your boss or with your controlling officer. Now once you actually come up to the satisfaction level of your employer, then the employer tries to invest in you, even though at times it so happens that the employer may not be quite sure whether this investment will be rewarding for the organization or not. Once again here it is the question of ethical consideration on the part of the employee. But remember, as employers, one should never consider employees only as means but also as ends. Now what do we mean by that? You should never treat your employee only as a tool. Here again the question of humanity which has been talked by, which has been promulgated by one major philosopher, Immanuel Kant, comes into question. Now let us see what Kant says. Life is a faculty of a spontaneous activity. Spontaneous, I mean natural. You know, all of us, we have got certain rights. All of us have to be happy. And this happiness factor, as Kant says, the awareness of all our human powers. Every individual is aware that he has in him some potential, and because of that potential he can get something. It is actually a sort of cause and effect relation. You work, and that is why you get something to eat. Occupation gives us this awareness. Once you are in a job, so your job gives you this awareness. Without occupation, men cannot live happily. You know, it is only a person who is, you know, unemployed will have different sorts of thoughts. A person who does not work will invite troubles, not only for himself but for society. That is why Kant says, if he earns his bread, he eats it with greater pleasure than if it is doled out to him. I mean, a person who is totally aware does not want to get food without any work. Man feels contented after heavy work than when he has done no work. So the satisfaction level you get once you work, you feel satisfied because your work brings you something in return. For by work he had set his powers in motion. Now again, Immanuel Kant says that is why every employee, he should not be considered only as means but also as ends. Employees are the great resources, and out of these resources you actually have to think about the welfare also of the organization. That is why you will find when we talk about the rights and duties, and when this happiness factor comes into question, you will find that as employee you have certain rights and your organization allows you these rights. Sometimes when these rights are violated, then comes the question of conflict, and then comes the question of a sort of difference. Now what are these rights? Right to freedom. Suppose you are in an organization and you are working for so long, and then the time comes then when you are to be escalated to the new rank, promoted to the new rank. So at that time you feel that your qualification should only be the criterion of your promotion, not other things. Now sometimes it so happens that this discrimination factor comes into being, and that actually leads to a sort of dissatisfaction. This discrimination while you know we talk about the right to freedom, this discrimination factor comes. There are many people who are not provided equal opportunity. Sometimes this discrimination is based on gender. Sometimes this discrimination in many countries you will find, sometimes this has resulted on the base of colors, sometimes on the base of faiths and all. So this should not be there, otherwise it will lead to a sort of dissatisfaction and the organization will come to a halt, and the question of ethics will again come into consideration. At times this discrimination is also done on the basis of age, disability. You often hear that it was perhaps in the news that one person who was disabled was not given the proper job despite the fact that he was equally qualified. Now the question is, these discriminations actually result in greater dissatisfaction levels, and that actually results in poor production, that actually gives a bad name to the organization. Again, all the organizations see to it that every employee has got a right to privacy. What is this right to privacy? As an employee, expectations are there that you should ensure your potential to be utilized, but then there are times, then there are certain questions where the organization cannot come in and between you. For example, somebody taking drugs, somebody had certain issues of health, But of course, there are certain professions where the organization has the right to test your health. For example, if a pilot is drunk, naturally it will lead to a great accident, a major accident, and it may cost so many people's lives. So in that way, of course, the organization has the right to test your drug addiction or whatsoever. Apart from this, the organization does not try to interfere with it. Moreover, the organization ensures that there has to be a work and life balance. That is why many organizations, they see to it that women members are not given duties at odd hours. This is actually the organizational concern which is related to safety and other issues. Moreover, suppose you have some personal information, you have some personal data, you have some data which you want to preserve. The organization in no way tries to interfere with it unless and until it is so much required and it becomes so essential. So you have a right, of course, but suppose you start doing something which is unacceptable, naturally you can be questioned. Now, right to due process. What is this right to due process? Every individual, every employee in the organization has got or is entitled for promotions. So when the time comes, and the yardsticks or the criteria for promotions have to be the same. Now it so happens that at times when there are say certain deviations, of course the ethical standard or the ethical practices of the organization that comes into question. Moreover, but then the organization sees to it that every employee is to be measured, is to be evaluated equally on the basis of the qualification and on the basis of the requirement for that post. In certain organizations you will find, suppose an organization runs into difficulties or problems where they have to shut down. Now there is a question of sacking some people. Now here also organizations differ. Some organizations see to it that they provide you with sufficient time to look for new opportunities, and till that new opportunity they not only provide you a layoff period, but they also see to it that compensation package is also better. But remember, as an employee, suppose you are a very trustworthy person of your boss and you have been given a task of evaluating a particular unit which is running in loss. Now here comes the question of the conflict between your personal ethics and the ethics of the organization. So when you have done all your practices and you have also decided a sort of measure or recommendation, it is later that you realize that it will affect the life of so many people and so many people will become redundant. But then from the organization's point of view, you have to do that task. Now here there is a clash of your personal ethics and organizational code. Now what you will do will totally depend. Will you be able to convince your organization that these employees should be provided with good package or compensation or a sort of adequate say layoff period and whatsoever? Now that totally depends, and that brings an organization into repute or disrepute. But then majority of organizations see to it that they do not give a message to the outside world that they do not bother about their employees. Then comes the right to participation and association. Every employee has got the right to mix with people at the organization in different capabilities, in different capacities. They also can associate themselves with various functions. But then they are also expected, and the organization also sees to it that their participation is also ensured in certain decisions of the organization. Say for example, if a particular unit has to be closed, a leader who is Democrat or a boss who is Democrat will call a meeting and will discuss, and then finally before he comes to a conclusion or decision, he will think about the possible measures. Maybe something new comes out, maybe some people give the suggestion of starting something new and not by in order that these people do not become meaningless or redundant. So all these are in the purview of the organizational ethics as well as your ethics. So long as you are in an organization, you should ensure that you are committed, you are loyal. Nowadays, again, there is right to health and safe working conditions. Nowadays you will find every there is a word which is very popular nowadays, well-being of the employees, well-being, and for that well-being there are different measures. The recent movies, yoga classes, swimming, entertainment, and so all these actually, and of course suppose you are working in a mines, you are working in a factory where you need enough safety measures. So there are certain say rigid rules that you have to wear helmets, you have to wear badges or whatsoever. These are actually because of course it is your personal choice, but from the organization's point of view they actually provide you these basic rights. Again, it comes to fair wages. So for the same work you are entitled to get the same payment. You are supposed to receive the same salary for the same job if you are appointed at the same time. This is also up to the consideration of the organization, but again if there is a sort of discrimination, you have every right to express your own opinion. Then the right of freedom of conscience and speech. Of course, this is at times this becomes very debatable, as every employee has got the right to work, but at the same time every employee has also got the freedom to speak. But then when you are speaking, when you are expressing or airing your views, you should ensure that this is not anti-organizational. Fine. The question is, there are certain measures which always may not be that advantageous to you or which may not suit to you, but that does not mean the organization should change only for an individual. So you are given that right to participate, the right to speak, but when you are in an organization, it again becomes a part of your personal ethics to maintain a sort of equilibrium between what you speak here and what you speak outside, because as I have been saying that you are bound by certain moral considerations and by personal ethics. Now the question is, if as employees we are to follow ethics, what are where are these areas where you need to be very careful? What are these? Plagiarism. Suppose you have been assigned the task of writing a report, or you have been asked to develop something new. At times what happens, maybe that is because that is by mistake. So you put the words of somebody unknowingly. But again, it may be a question of plagiarism, especially in academic institutions, when you are producing or reproducing somebody else's work in the same way, it may lead to a sort of plagiarism, because every idea that you have is your copyright, so is it of others. You are not supposed to plagiarize or steal. Again, there are certain other things that also employees at times tend to forget. For example, misusing the office resources. Suppose misusing office properties, because as an employee it is actually your right and as well as your duty to preserve the wealth of the organization. Something being misutilized, As officer, you are supposed to report it. Say in many organizations, pilfering, stealing things, slowly, steadily. So that has become a practice. So it is actually a damage to the organization that we are working in. So there are certain restrictions, but then every now and then nobody is going to take care of or watch you, fine. So it is a question of personal ethics that will not be misusing the organizational property, you will not be making a disadvantage of the official phone or something else. Moreover, selective misquoting is also a problem. Somebody didn't say, but then you are misreporting it just in order to get some easy access to a person or to get something more in return. So that is again a question of misquoting. So one should try to refrain from doing all these things. Sometimes in order to get a claim, people try to take credit for the work that others have done. This is also a crime, and it is once again a choice, and it is a sort of ethical choice. You become very unethical. Sometimes you are misrepresenting data, that is again unquestionably unethical, fine. So you need not involve yourself in all these activities. Sometimes you are trying to create bigger pictures, making long predictions, distorting visuals, trying to proclaim a lot whereas it is not. So all these are certain issues which, even though you have a right, but then you are misusing your right, because an organization has full trust in you and you are misusing your trust. You are of course aware of your rights, but then you should also know your duties. Your duties comprise being loyal to the institution, being a cultural ambassador to the organization, and not saying or criticizing your organization publicly, not criticizing your colleagues publicly. So there, it all comes under the purview of your own moral considerations. There are certain ways through which you can become ethical. You see, my dear friends, we have to create a sort of between personal ethics and organizational ethics in order to be successful. So the first thing that we should do is to follow the organizational code of conduct. Of course, there are written codes, but there are some unwritten codes also, and these unwritten codes come under your personal purview, under your personal choice. Be loyal to your organization, show your commitment level by becoming honest, by becoming transparent, by becoming sincere, by becoming a hard worker, by becoming an ambassador of the organization, and whatever work you have been allotted to, as many of you will be allotted to different tasks. Love your work, love your task, don't criticize your organization. Whatever you are because of the organization. Organization has actually provided you a platform, and that is how your life has become so authentic. Be proud of your organization and speak well of your organization. One should always try to maintain integrity in terms of company's secret information. As I said in the beginning, there are many people who are assigned the task of maintaining records, maintaining very secret records of the organization. It is once again not only the organizational ethic, but your personal ethics also, to create a sort of balance. Nowadays, as I have said earlier, organizations are multicultural platforms. Hence, the way you behave and the way you show your attitude and interest at the workplace, that speaks a lot. So you have to create a sort of blending between all sorts of faiths, religions, all sorts of beliefs in order to be an effective employee. And once you start thinking in that direction, in the days to come, you will be a better employee and your organization will be proud of you. Be aware of your rights, but before that, also be aware of your duties. Let there be a proper balance between our rights and between our duties. Let us see that we are for the organization, and if organization expects something of us, we should respond to that in a very positive manner by becoming adaptable, by becoming a person who is conscious of his personal ethics, because ethics is a very personal thing, and as individuals in the present day world and as key players in organizations, let us try to maintain a proper ethical standard so that people may remember us when we leave an organization. Thank you very much.